Good evening. Once again, um, anybody who would like to sponsor this or a different shear, please contact me either on Facebook or at my email, cslando@gmail.com. At this point, in a footnote, the B'yam Darkecha kind of sums up everything that we have seen up until now. And he explains that there are really two themes that we have focused on in terms of the, shall we say, practical application in our own personal lives of the descriptions of the Kabbalistic process of creation. And they are both how we are meant to serve Hashem in general, as well as how we have the opportunity to experience, at least to a certain extent, Hashem's unity. And he points out that these are, even though these two topics are connected, but they're still two distinct topics which meet up at certain places. And therefore, initially, everything was God's infinite light. Subsequently, there was a process of Tzimtzum, of constriction, in which a void was created, and within that void, a line light came in. The point is as follows. Every person, when they embark on a process of serving God, it always begins with a tremendous amount of light. Something occurred to inspire that person, to light a fire under them that they want to serve Hashem. But the power of that light is such that a person can't withstand being in that light on a permanent basis because it would absolutely consume him. And therefore, even though that light initially creates within him a tremendous desire to serve Hashem and to know Hashem, but it's too much for the person's kalim, for the person's vessels to hold on to it. And he cannot really grasp it, truthfully. And therefore, the next step of the process is the light suddenly disappears. And what initially was such great clarity and light for the person is constriction. The light is hidden, and the person experiences darkness and smallness. But someone who understands what's going on realizes that the idea behind this darkness and this constriction is to drive him to want more. Because it's only because of the fact that the light has been taken away from him and that he's in a state of lightness, of a lack of light, that creates a void and a lack and an empty vessel that wants to be filled. And it inspires the person to seek out the light and to thirst for his creator, much more so than he did initially. Because if someone had the light and lost the light, the thirst to get that light back is much greater than any thirst he may have had previously. And because he now thirsts and seeks, and he does whatever he can to experience the light again, so Hashem sends a line light. Hashem gives the person the amount of light that he is capable of truly grasping and holding on to. Because now, working in the darkness and expressing his thirst and desire, he's created a vessel that can hold some of that light. And now when the light comes, he actually has it, and it's his. And this is a very important foundational principle in Judaism when it comes to serving God. when a person feels small-mindedness, when a person feels empty and the light is hidden from him and he thinks that God has abandoned him, don't give up. Rather, the person should take this as an opportunity to create a vessel in which he can make every possible effort to show his faith in God, to increase his thirst for God when he finds himself empty. As David HaMelech said, Samalacha nafshi, kamalacha besari be'eretz tzia va'ayef b'li mayim. David says, my soul thirsts for you. My flesh pines for you in a desolate land and a barren land that has no water. Then the person will experience the light, which is the light of the Torah, the light of Hashem, which is enclosed in the Torah. And it's a light that the person has the ability to grasp and to keep. And through it, to really rise in every aspect of his life. That's the first part that we mentioned beforehand. How to understand these metaphors as a direction in how to serve Hashem. As far as how to use this in order to experience Hashem's unity. So we mentioned also that Hashem reveals himself to us in two primary forms. There is the Or HaSovev, the surrounding light, in which everything is godliness. And before that light, we are completely batel. We are as if we are nothing. And then there is the level of the light that fills, the Or HaMemale, which is the light that we experience within our dimension, that we experience every single day. It's the light that keeps us alive and without which we would cease to exist. And what separates between the surrounding light and the light that fills is that Tzimtzum is the constriction, which is the power of God to be able to hide himself. What do we have to do? We've got to hold on to both. On the one hand, we have to constrict ourselves so that we don't get too attached to this world, and we can get out of it to the, so to speak, place where God is found in the surrounding light. On the other hand, we also have to not fully experience the surrounding light. We must be in this world in order to find and reveal godliness in every detail of this world. And he says that in notes in the back of the Sefer, which we will get to pretty soon because we're about to be finished this section, he has elaborated on this. So that's for another day. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful evening.